Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are going to be talking about the weather.
That's right. And you know, Marco, this is a really, really useful and important topic in English, isn't it?
Exactly, because if you ever travel abroad, you always want to know about the weather, right?
That's right. And English people, all they ever do is talk about the weather.
Well, it's an important topic. You want to know what clothes to wear or if you should take an umbrella.
Or even when you're making small talk with people.
Exactly. So we are going to be taking a look at the weather in the United States. But before we get started with the dialogue, let's take a look at vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, so we have two words we're going to hear in the dialogue. Now, the first one is forecast.
Forecast.
Weather forecast.
So this is what we listen to or what we see on the television, the weather forecast.
Right, it's like the prediction of the weather.
Okay, so forecast, can I only use it in the weather?
No, of course you can use it in many other different situations, like in business, for example, forecast sales.
Okay, so the prediction of sales. Very good. And we have one more word on vocabulary preview, a shower.
A shower.
Shower.
Shower. So when it rains for a short time and it's not too heavy, that's a shower.
Okay, very good. So it's very similar to a shower at home.
Right,
like
it doesn't,
a little bit of water.
And it doesn't last too long.
Okay,
Yep.
Very good. So why don't we listen to our dialogue now? We are going to be listening to the weatherman as he describes the weather in Utah.
And now, let's go to Kenny Williams for today's weather forecast.
Thank you, Bill, and good morning, Salt Lake City.
What's the weather looking like today, Kenny?
Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag in Utah today. We've got heavy cloud cover here in northern Utah, and we're calling for scattered showers throughout the day, with a daytime high of 45 degrees. Now, if we move down to the south of the state, we can see that a cold front is moving in. We can expect clear skies, but it will be quite cold, with temperatures hovering around the 30-degree mark.
It's a chilly day, folks, so don't forget your coats. What about tomorrow, Kenny? Do you have good news for us?
Well, it'll be a rainy day for northern Utah. We can expect some isolated downpours in the morning. Winds will be coming in from the northeast, with gusts reaching 23 miles per hour. Salt Lake City can expect the rain to turn to sleet in the evening. Things are looking a bit better for the south. We'll see cloudy skies with a chance of showers. Later in the day, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a forecast high of 38 degrees.
You heard it, folks. It's going to be a cold one.
That's right, Bill. We'll have more later on today on the 6 o'clock news. That's the weather forecast for this morning.
All right, so we listened to the weather forecast, and it doesn't seem like nice weather in Utah, huh?
No, it certainly doesn't. I don't think that I'd really like to live there.
Well, maybe it's winter or something like that.
Well, I guess, yeah, maybe it's good for skiing.
Okay, so now I think it's time for us to take a look at some of those maybe difficult words that we may have listened to in this dialogue in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, here we're going to look at some words and phrases that you can use to describe the weather. Now, the first one, we heard in the weather forecast that they were calling for scattered showers.
Scattered showers.
Scatter.
Scattered. If something is scattered.
It's sort of like it's a little bit of that thing everywhere.
Okay. So, and we already talked about what showers were.
Right. So shower is a small amount of rain.
Okay, very good. To better understand when something is scattered, imagine that we are in a playground and the children are playing in the playground.
Okay.
So the children are scattered everywhere. Some of them are playing on the swing, some of them are playing on the grass or in the sandbox. So children, a little bit of children in every different spot.
So if we think that the city is a playground, maybe in one part of the city there's a little bit of rain, but not in the other part.
Exactly.
That's a scattered shower.
Very good. Moving on to our second word, we have hovering.
Hovering.
Temperatures hovering around the 30-degree mark.
The temperature is hovering around.
Okay, so when I say the temperatures are hovering,
you mean it's approximately.
Okay, so they can move up and down. So maybe it'll be a little bit warmer than 30 degrees or a little bit colder.
Yes. So if you think of hovering as floating.
Okay, very good. So why don't we listen to some more examples of how we could use hovering in different situations?
Example 1.
Unemployment rates are hovering around the 10% mark despite the government's attempts to stimulate the economy.
Example 2. The waiters kept hovering around us all night. It was really annoying. Example 3.
The company's margin this year is hovering around the 40% mark.
Okay, so pretty clear. Hovering is sort of floating around one area.
Very good. Now let's move on to the next part. We saw that we're going to have isolated downpours.
Isolated downpours.
Isolated downpours.
Okay, let's break this one down. Let's start with downpour.
A downpour is when you have a lot of rain, very strong rain.
That's right. For maybe a short amount of time, it's really raining heavily.
Right. So that's what a downpour is. And if we take a look at the first word, isolated.
So in one small area.
Okay, confined it to a specific area.
That's right.
Okay, so we have an isolated downpour. It'll be raining in one specific area.
And you hear this a lot with weather language. You hear isolated showers, isolated snowstorms.
Exactly, so it'll be in a specific area only.
All right, so along with these showers and rain, we also talked about wind, and we heard that we will have gusts reaching 23 miles per hour.
So we're going to have gusts reaching 23 miles per hour.
Gusts of wind.
Okay, so can you explain to our listeners what gusts are?
Okay, so a gust is a sudden increase in the amount of wind.
Okay, so maybe we'll have normal wind and all of a sudden it will get really windy.
That's right, for a short amount of time.
Okay, that's a gust.
G-U-S-T, gust.
Gust of wind. And for our final word on language takeaway today, we're going to have sleet.
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 All right, sleet is a terrible kind of weather. It's sort of a mixture between snow and rain.
So sleet is kind of this strange mix between ice and rain and snow. So just imagine it's not completely ice, so it's not solid, but it's not water, right? It's not rain.
It's not snow either.
No, it's in the middle.
Okay.
All right, so sleet.
But what you really need to know is that it's terrible.
All right, so that's all the words we have today for language takeaway. Let's move on now to Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, in Fluency Builder today, we're going to look at 3 phrases that are really common when you're talking about the weather. Now, we heard in the dialogue that there was a cold front moving in.
A cold front moving in.
A cold front is moving in.
Okay, so a cold front.
Imagine a wall of cold air. And it comes towards a place and then it changes the pressure in the atmosphere.
Okay, so a very sudden amount of cold air that comes into a place.
Right.
So we say a cold front is moving in.
So we always think of these cold fronts or warm fronts as moving. So you can either say they're moving in, or you can say a cold front is coming in.
Okay, very good. And okay, we have a cold front that's moving in, and we're going to have winds that will be coming in from the northeast.
Okay, winds coming in from.
Okay, winds coming in from. So when I say it's coming in from,
you're talking about its origin, where it starts.
Okay, so if I change the noun and I say, and I don't say winds anymore, but maybe I'll say my friends. My friends are coming in from
Chicago.
So they are arriving from Chicago.
Exactly.
What else can I say?
Or you can also say the kids are coming in from outside.
Okay, so where they were before. Very good. So coming in from, you can change the noun a little bit and you can form these new sentences.
Great. Now our final phrase, we heard the announcer say, it's gonna be a cold one.
It's gonna be a cold one.
It's gonna be a cold one.
So I have this phrase, it's gonna be a cold one. What do I mean by a cold one?
Okay, so the one represents the event, so the day.
Okay,
right?
So it's gonna be a cold day.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we can obviously change the adjective, right? So it's gonna be a hot one, it's gonna be a long one, it's gonna be a long day.
All right.
but the one can mean anything.
Okay, so it can be a day, it can be an event.
A meeting.
Okay.
A project. So, for example, if we're going to a meeting, I might say, hey, Marco, this is going to be a hard one.
Okay, so the one represents the meeting.
That's right.
This is going to be a hard meeting. All right, I think this is a very good phrase and it's very commonly used. So why don't we listen to some more examples of how we can use it's going to be a something one.
Example 1. Temperatures are forecasted to hit 37 degrees today. It's going to be a hot one, folks. Example 2.
It's only 8 a.m. and I've got 100 emails already. It's going to be a long one today.
Example 3. I haven't studied at all for the exam. It's going to be a tough one.
Okay, so some great examples, and I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue again. And now we can understand all these words and phrases that we've just talked about.
And now, let's go to Kenny Williams for today's weather forecast.
Thank you, Bill, and good morning, Salt Lake City.
What's the weather looking like today, Kenny?
Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag in Utah today. We've got heavy cloud cover here in northern Utah, and we're calling for scattered showers throughout the day, with a daytime high of 45 degrees. Now, if we move down to the south of the state, we can see that a cold front is moving in. We can expect clear skies, but it will be quite cold, with temperatures hovering around the 30-degree mark.
It's a chilly day, folks, so don't forget your coats. What about tomorrow, Kenny? Do you have good news for us?
Well, it'll be a rainy day for northern Utah. We can expect some isolated downpours in the morning. Winds will be coming in from the northeast, with gusts reaching 23 miles per hour. Salt Lake City can expect the rain to turn to sleet in the evening. Things are looking a bit better for the south. We'll see cloudy skies with a chance of showers. Later in the day, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a forecast high of 38 degrees.
You heard it, folks. It's going to be a cold one.
That's right, Bill. We'll have more later on today on the 6 o'clock news. That's the weather forecast for this morning.
Okay, so we know that in English-speaking countries, the weather is always a great subject of conversation for small talk, right?
Exactly. If you ever want to talk to somebody or start a conversation, the weather is always the number one topic.
Yep. And we actually have a phrase in this dialogue that'd be great for starting a conversation. Like, for example, imagine if you lived here in Utah and you were, wanting to start a conversation with someone, you could say, "It sure is a cold one today, isn't it?"
Exactly. That's a great way of starting a conversation, and English-speaking people love to talk about the weather, as you say.
Weather, understanding the world around us. Weather is an important part of our daily lives. It affects what we wear, where we go, and even how we feel. Weather refers to the conditions of the atmosphere at a specific time and place. It includes things like temperature, wind, humidity, and precipitation. The weather can change from day to day, and sometimes even from hour to hour. Some days are sunny and warm, while others are cold and rainy. Understanding the weather helps us prepare for our daily activities and stay safe. One of the most important parts of weather is temperature. Temperature tells us how hot or cold the air is. It is measured in degrees, either in Celsius or Fahrenheit. When the temperature is high, we experience hot weather, and when it is low, the weather is cold. In summer, temperatures can rise very high, making people feel warm and sometimes uncomfortable. In winter, temperatures drop and it can become very cold. In some places, winter temperatures go below freezing, causing snow and ice to form. Wind is another important part of the weather. Wind is the movement of air from one place to another. It can be gentle, like a light breeze, or strong, like a powerful storm. Wind helps to cool us down on hot days, but it can also cause damage during storms. The speed and direction of the wind are important in predicting the weather. Strong winds can bring changes in temperature and even cause storms. In some parts of the world, people experience hurricanes and tornadoes, which are very strong windstorms that can destroy homes and trees. Humidity is also a key part of the weather. Humidity is the amount of moisture, or water vapor, in the air. When humidity is high, the air feels heavy and sticky. This is common in tropical areas, where the air holds a lot of moisture. High humidity can make hot days feel even hotter, making people sweat more. On the other hand, when humidity is low, the air feels dry. This often happens in deserts, where there is very little moisture in the air. Dry air can make our skin feel rough and cause breathing problems for some people. Precipitation is any form of water that falls from the sky. It includes rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Rain is the most common type of precipitation. It helps plants grow and fills rivers and lakes with water. Light rain can be refreshing, but heavy rain can cause floods, making it dangerous for people and animals. Snow falls when the air is very cold. It covers the ground in a white blanket and is fun for winter activities like skiing and building snowmen. Sleet and hail are other types of precipitation. Sleet is a mix of rain and snow, while hail is made of small balls of ice that can fall during strong storms. Weather is always changing because of the way air moves around the earth. The sun plays a big role in weather patterns. It heats the earth's surface, causing warm air to rise and cooler air to move in. This movement of air creates different weather conditions in different parts of the world. For example, places near the equator, where the sun is strongest, are usually hot all year round. In contrast, places near the North and South poles are cold because they receive less direct sunlight. Different seasons bring different types of weather. In many parts of the world, there are 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, fall, and winter. Each season has its own weather patterns. Spring is often mild, with flowers blooming and trees growing new leaves. Summer is the hottest season, with long sunny days. Autumn is cooler, and the leaves on trees change color and fall to the ground. Winter is the coldest season, with snow and ice in many places. However, not all places have 4 seasons. Some countries, especially near the equator, have only 2 seasons: a wet season and a dry season. Understanding the weather helps people make better decisions. Farmers need to know about the weather to plant and harvest their crops at the right time. Travelers check the weather before planning trips to avoid bad conditions. People who work outside, like construction workers and fishermen, need to know if it will be too hot, too cold, or rainy. Even simple things like choosing what clothes to wear each day depend on the weather. Weather is a fascinating subject because it affects every part of our lives. It can be beautiful, like a clear blue sky or a peaceful snowfall. But it can also be dangerous, like a powerful storm or a heat wave. Scientists study the weather to help us understand it better and to predict what will happen next. In the next part, we will explore how scientists study the weather and the tools they use to make forecasts. Weather is not only something we experience every day, but it is also something scientists study carefully. Weather changes all the time, and scientists try to predict what will happen next. This helps people prepare for different weather conditions and stay safe. The study of weather is called meteorology, and the scientists who study it are called meteorologists. Meteorologists use many tools to measure and predict the weather. One important tool is the thermometer, which measures temperature. It tells us how hot or cold the air is. Another tool is the barometer, which measures air pressure. Changes in air pressure help scientists predict if the weather will be sunny, rainy, or stormy. A high air pressure usually means good weather, while a low air pressure can mean rain or storms are coming. Anemometers are tools that measure wind speed, and wind vanes show the direction the wind is blowing. These tools help scientists understand how the wind moves and how it affects the weather. Rain gauges measure how much rain has fallen, and hygrometers measure humidity or the amount of moisture in the air. All of these tools help meteorologists collect information to make weather forecasts. One of the most important tools in modern weather forecasting is the satellite. Satellites orbit the Earth and take pictures of clouds, storms, and other weather patterns. These images help scientists track hurricanes, typhoons, and other major weather events. Satellites also help predict changes in climate over long periods. Weather forecasting is not always perfect because the atmosphere is very complex. However, with modern technology, meteorologists can make very good predictions. People rely on weather forecasts to plan their daily activities. Farmers need to know if it will rain or if there will be a drought. Airplane pilots check the weather to avoid storms. People listen to weather reports to decide if they should carry an umbrella, wear warm clothes, or prepare for a hurricane. Severe weather can be dangerous, and it is important to be prepared. Thunderstorms bring heavy rain, lightning, and strong winds. Lightning can strike trees, houses, and even people. So it is important to stay indoors during a thunderstorm. Tornadoes are very strong winds that form a spinning column of air. They can destroy buildings and cars in just a few minutes. People who live in areas where tornadoes happen often have special shelters to stay safe. Hurricanes and typhoons are very large storms that form over warm ocean water. These storms bring heavy rain and very strong winds that can cause flooding and damage buildings. People living near the coast often have to evacuate or leave their homes when a hurricane is coming. Snowstorms or blizzards happen in very cold places. They bring heavy snowfall and strong winds, making it hard to see and travel. Ice can also make roads very slippery and dangerous. Climate is different from weather. Weather changes from day to day, but climate is the general weather pattern in a place over a long period. Some places have a hot and dry climate, like deserts. Others have a cold climate, like the Arctic. Some places have a tropical climate, with warm temperatures and a lot of rain all year round. Climate change is a big concern today because temperatures are rising in many parts of the world. This can lead to stronger storms, melting ice in polar regions, and rising sea levels. Weather is an important part of life on Earth. It affects everything from what we wear to how we grow food. Scientists study the weather to help us understand it better and prepare for changes. By paying attention to weather forecasts, we can make smart choices and stay safe. In the next part, we will explore how different weather conditions affect people and the environment. Weather has a big impact on how people live their daily lives. It affects what they wear, what they eat, and even the kinds of houses they build. In very cold places, people wear thick coats, gloves, and hats to stay warm. In hot and sunny places, people wear light clothes and use sunscreen to protect their skin. Some cultures have special ways of dressing because of their climate. For example, in desert regions, people often wear long, loose clothing to protect themselves from the sun and keep cool. Weather also affects the types of food that people eat. In cold places, people often eat hot and heavy meals to keep their bodies warm. In tropical areas, where it is warm all year, people eat lighter meals with a lot of fruits and vegetables. Some foods grow better in certain types of weather. For example, rice grows in warm and wet climates, while wheat grows better in cooler places. Farmers must pay attention to the weather to make sure their crops grow well. If there is too much rain or not enough water, crops can be damaged and people may not have enough food. The way houses are built also depends on the weather. In cold places, houses have thick walls and small windows to keep the heat inside. Some houses even have fireplaces or heating systems to stay warm. In hot places, houses are often built with large windows to let in fresh air. Some houses in warm climates have flat roofs, so people can sleep outside when it is too hot inside. In places where it rains a lot, houses are built on stilts to prevent flooding. People have adapted their homes to survive in different weather conditions. Transportation is another part of life that is affected by weather. Rain, snow, and storms can make travel difficult. Heavy snow can block roads and make it dangerous to drive. Ice makes roads slippery, causing accidents. In very hot weather, car engines can overheat, and train tracks can expand, causing delays. Airplanes also depend on good weather. If there is a storm, strong winds, or thick fog, flights can be delayed or canceled. People have to check weather reports before traveling to make sure they stay safe. People also plan their activities based on the weather. In warm and sunny weather, people enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, swimming, and playing sports. In cold weather, people might go skiing, ice skating, or stay indoors with a warm drink. Many festivals and events are planned around good weather. For example, people celebrate summer festivals when the weather is nice. Farmers hold harvest festivals in autumn when they collect their crops. However, bad weather can cancel events and change plans. A picnic can be ruined by sudden rain, and a snowstorm can stop people from going outside. Severe weather can sometimes cause disasters. Heavy rain can lead to floods, which damage homes and roads. Strong winds from hurricanes and tornadoes can destroy buildings and trees. Wildfires can start in very dry and hot weather, burning forests and houses. Droughts happen when there is not enough rain for a long time, causing water shortages. People must prepare for these kinds of weather emergencies. Many communities have warning systems to alert people before a storm or a flood happens. Governments help people stay safe by providing shelters, emergency supplies, and weather updates. Weather is a powerful force that affects everyone. It shapes how people live, what they eat, and how they move from place to place. It can bring joy with sunny days and fun activities, but it can also bring danger with storms and extreme conditions. In the next part, we will explore how technology helps us understand and prepare for different kinds of weather. Technology has helped people understand and predict the weather more accurately. In the past, people relied on their senses and natural signs to guess what the weather would be like. They watched the sky, observed animal behavior, and used traditional knowledge passed down through generations. For example, people believed that red skies in the evening meant good weather the next day, while red skies in the morning warned of a storm. While some of these methods were useful, they were not always reliable. Today, modern technology allows scientists to study the weather in a more advanced way. One of the most important tools for understanding the weather is the satellite. Weather satellites orbit the Earth and take pictures of clouds, storms, and temperature changes. These images help meteorologists, or weather scientists, predict storms, hurricanes, and other weather patterns. Satellites also provide information about global weather changes, such as rising temperatures and melting ice in the Arctic. This helps scientists understand climate change and how it affects the planet. Weather stations are also important for collecting data. These stations are placed in different locations, from cities to mountains to oceans. They measure temperature, humidity, wind speed, and air pressure. This information is sent to weather centers, where experts analyze the data and create weather forecasts. Some weather stations are even placed in remote areas, like the desert, or deep in the ocean, to gather more information about how weather works in different environments. Another powerful tool is the weather radar. This device uses radio waves to detect rain, snow, and storms. It helps scientists track how fast a storm is moving and how much rain or snow will fall. This is very helpful for warning people about heavy storms, tornadoes, or hurricanes. Thanks to radar technology, many lives have been saved because people have time to prepare before severe weather strikes. Supercomputers also play a big role in predicting the weather. These computers process large amounts of weather data quickly and create models of how the weather will change. They consider different factors like air pressure, wind direction, and ocean currents to predict future weather conditions. Although weather forecasts are not always 100% correct, they are much more accurate than they were in the past. Scientists are constantly improving weather models to make predictions even better. Weather apps and websites allow people to check the weather anytime. Before going outside, people can look at their phones or computers to see if they need an umbrella or a warm jacket. Farmers use weather forecasts to decide when to plant or harvest their crops. Travelers check the weather before planning a trip. Airlines use weather data to ensure safe flights. Weather forecasts are a part of everyday life, helping people make decisions and stay safe. Climate change is another important topic related to weather. Over the years, scientists have noticed that global temperatures are rising. This is causing changes in weather patterns. Some places are experiencing stronger storms, while others are facing longer droughts. The melting of ice in the Arctic is causing sea levels to rise, which can lead to flooding in coastal cities. Scientists study these changes to understand how human activities, like burning fossil fuels, affect the climate. Many people and governments are working to reduce pollution and protect the environment to slow down climate change. People also use technology to protect themselves from extreme weather. In areas where hurricanes are common, buildings are designed to withstand strong winds. In places with heavy snowfall, roads have heating systems to melt the ice and prevent accidents. Early warning systems give people time to evacuate before a disaster happens. Emergency shelters and rescue teams are ready to help people affected by severe weather. These advancements have saved many lives and continue to improve as technology advances. In conclusion, weather is a powerful and ever-changing force that affects everyone on Earth. It shapes our daily activities, the way we build our homes, and even the food we eat. Technology has made it easier to predict and understand the weather, helping people prepare for different conditions. However, with climate change affecting global weather patterns, it is important for people to take care of the planet and work together to reduce pollution. Weather will always be a part of life, and learning more about it helps us stay safe and make better decisions.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Something that is spread all over an area.
Scattered.
Small balls of ice that fall from the sky.
Hail.
Small drops of water that float in the air.
Fog.
A very strong snowstorm.
Blizzard.
Light rain.
Drizzle.
To enter or arrive from somewhere.
Come in from.
A statement of what will happen in the future.
Forecast.
Describes when air is not clear because of fog or smog.
Hazy.
Stay near a certain level or place.
Hover around.
A collection of different kinds of things.
Mixed bag.
The amount of sky that is covered with clouds. Saying that some type of weather will happen.
Call for.
Rainfall in a short time.
Shower.
Leading edge of a cooler and drier mass of air.
Cold front.
Very cold.
Chilly.
Limited to one area.
Isolated.
Strong sudden rainstorm.
Downpour.
Strong sudden increase in wind speed.
Gust.
A mix of rain and snow.
Sleet.
Having some clouds and some sun.
Partly cloudy skies.
Let's try that faster. Strong sudden rainstorm.
Downpour.
Something that is spread all over an area.
Scattered.
Leading edge of a cooler and drier mass of air.
Cold front.
Stay near a certain level or place.
Hover around.
A mix of rain and snow.
Sleet.
Very cold.
Chilly.
The amount of sky that is covered with clouds. Light rain.
Drizzle.
A very strong snowstorm.
Blizzard.
Rainfall in a short time.
Shower.
A collection of different kinds of things.
Mixed bag.
A statement of what will happen in the future.
Forecast.
Strong sudden increase in wind speed.
Gust.
Small balls of ice that fall from the sky.
Hail.
To enter or arrive from somewhere.
Come in from.
Having some clouds and some sun.
Partly cloudy skies.
Small drops of water that float in the air.
Fog.
Describes when air is not clear because of fog or smog.
Hazy.
Limited to one area.
Isolated.
Saying that some type of weather will happen.
Call for.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Scattered.
The children scattered in all directions when the teacher approached.
Scattered.
Your room is a mess. There is trash scattered everywhere.
Scattered.
I accidentally knocked over the plant and scattered dirt all over the floor.
Downpour.
I forgot my umbrella at home today, and a downpour just hit.
Downpour.
The weather here is terrible. You have downpours almost every day.
Downpour.
A massive downpour hit us Monday night, with 150 millimeters of rain falling in less than 3 hours.
Come in from.
I have a friend that is coming in from Brazil this weekend.
Come in from.
England has many migrant workers coming in from all over the world.
Come in from.
Mike is coming in tonight from his trip to Finland.
Forecast.
The president's forecast of the economy is very optimistic.
Forecast.
Based on our forecast of inflation, we made a small price increase to our products.
Forecast.
The weatherman's forecast is always wrong.
Hover around.
The temperature will hover around 0 degrees all week.
Hover around.
I wish he would stop hovering around me and just go away.
Hover around.
The company's margin this year is hovering around the 40% mark.